Fuji X-M5 is probably the most requested camera to review on this channel, and I was lucky enough to get sent one by Fujifilm on loan. So today we are doing a portrait session with my good friend Savannah. Savannah, say hi.
Hello.
And we are doing a very important shoot that I'm gonna let her tell you more about.
So we're here today because I have a very important topic that I want to share and a message that I want to promote to my audience and to all of you out there who I'm sure deal with confidence and self-worth issues. For me, I've been dealing with chronic eczema for the last 4 years. I've kind of had a whole my life, but it really took over my entire body in the last 4 years. I've been dealing with extreme health issues, and I really lost my confidence there for a while. I went down in a shame spiral. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want anyone to see my skin. And I'm at a point today where I'm now sharing about this journey on my social channels, and I feel confident to do so, but there are so many people that are commenting on my posts saying, you know, I wish I had your confidence. I wish I could do this. And so I'm here to be a representation for you guys. So imagine Vogue and these big magazines and these big beauty brands came to someone like me and was like, I want to work with you and I want to create a campaign that shows real skin. That's what this campaign is about, and I'm just so excited to do it with my good friend.
The lens I have paired today on the Fuji X-M5 is the XF16-55 f2.8 lens, and this lens is basically the flagship standard zoom lens from Fuji. Now this camera does come with the kit lens, but Fuji did not send me the kit lens for this review. If you guys want to see what that kit lens can do, which is I believe the 15-45mm, check out this video up here that I recently shot with the Fuji X-S20 and that kit lens. I love that lens so much, but today we have an even better lens. This is the 16-55mm f2.8. Let's shoot. The most obvious thing about the Fuji X-M5 is the size and how much of a punch it packs in such a small form factor. Now, Fuji markets this camera as basically a content creator's dream, and that is exactly where I would fall in line with this camera. The closest cameras in Fuji's lineup that rival this are probably the X106 and the X-S20 that I just reviewed, both actually on my channel. And this is basically a more compact, more user-friendly, more everyday consumer version of those cameras, but it works really, really well. Now, if you guys have watched my previous videos, you guys do know that I love a larger camera body with a lot more tactile buttons and functionality on the body itself, and this does not really offer, obviously, a large camera body look and feel, but it still is pretty efficient to shoot with. And efficiency is the key here because I want to be able to use this camera and not have to worry about how do I change my ISO, how do I change my shutter speed. It is pretty well mapped out on this camera, which I do enjoy. And I'll probably say this 1,000 times in this video, but I am shocked with the form factor and the size of the sensor, and using JPEG photos, what kind of images you can get out of this thing. It is mind-blowing. I've done like 3 or 4 shoots with it now, and every time I shoot with it, I go, why do I own any other camera? This thing is so tack sharp, so detailed, so high resolution, and honestly offers an image that rivals some of the best cameras that I've ever shot with. Okay, but with the size, some friends that I've showed the camera to have asked, is it too small? Like, is the body actually so small that it's not ergonomic enough? I would say kinda. Again, this camera is meant to be like a quick travel vlog content creation camera. It's not meant to be a proper workhorse camera. So for that, you have to take that into account when thinking about if this camera is too small. And the fact that its interchangeable lens makes it a much more professional option instead of just a regular point and shoot. But is it too small? Well, it depends. If you're using this for actual work purposes, then I would say kinda, because you're gonna wanna hold this camera for for hours on end, have the different dials and knobs ergonomic and ready to go at all times, and with a lens as heavy as a lot of the good Fuji XF lenses, this camera will end up being very front heavy. Now I actually have the X-M5 on order from Moment Camera, and I ordered it with the kit lens because after using the kit lens on the Fuji XS20 that I recently reviewed, I was in love with it. And the reason why I was in love with it was not because it was the best lens technically, but because when you balance the fact that it is a cheap, affordable, light option lens and that gives you really, really good final images to work with, it kind of made a lot of sense for a camera this size. Now I will admit, if you are going to attach any larger XF lenses like this one, the 16-55 or the other primes that Fuji sent me, the 56, the 33, even the 18, all those lenses are going to make this camera very, very front heavy and not that ergonomic to carry around for a very long time. But the reason that I bought this camera, and for me with the kit lens, I think it's perfectly sized. It's basically a pocket camera. I'll be able to have this strapped around my neck all day while traveling for really, really, really high quality professional images from a camera this size. And then, of course, we can't talk about a Fuji camera without talking about the Fuji film simulations and the recipes that you can build on a camera like this. And this camera, out of all the Fuji cameras currently in the lineup, has the most versatile options. And what I mean by that is the dials. Yes, internally you have all the same options for film sims, but on the dials, you can actually change your film sim on a whim with this top left dial, and you have 4 custom slots on the top right dial. Now you guys know that my favorite recipe to make on the Fuji cameras is the Kodachrome 64 preset, and that is also what I shot everything on today. But I also like other recipes like a Ilford HP5 black and white, a Portra 400, a Portra 800. All these different recipes can be baked in to one of the 4 custom slots on this camera. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you, Savannah, for trusting me with this photo shoot. I had a ton of fun, and I'm so happy again with how this camera is producing these incredible images in such a small form factor. Thank you, Fuji, for sending me this camera to test out. I really, really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.